Are you ever going to do a Brent Hatley concert?
Well, Brent said he wanted to do a show with me, and he was moving down to Tampa to do a show with me, and then he completely blew me off. So I don't really plan on doing anything about Brent ever again. Because I've told it before. It's like a lot of people didn't like Brent. Tons of people didn't like Brent. Where we worked, people didn't like Brent. I always tried to be nice to him. I got along with him fine. I put him in my comedy shows, and then for him to turn around and do to kind of diss me, it was like, I can't win for losing, Tim, with people fucking stabbing me in the back, and and it really makes me feel like I don't want to be a good guy anymore, because all they do is get shit on, when all I've ever tried to do is help people.
Yeah. Don't lose that good part of you, Manson.
No, we do. We're very positive, man. We're super positive on our programming. And hey, Brent Hatley, he not interested in doing a show with me. Let me tell you, the show would have been successful with me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And if you check out his show now, Lord have mercy, not good. I ain't saying nothing about it. I was always Brent's friend. I made a few comments on the air, like he dissed me, and I got nothing to do with him. But I'm not going to trash him. But I don't. He came from Stern. I could have helped him capture thousands of listeners, and we could have shared those listeners. Now he's got 100 people listening to him. I don't get people, man.
So on Reddit, about 15 days ago, there was a post talking about your conversation with Brent. One of the things that was said in that post is you said that he got fired, that he told you he got fired. How true is that statement?
I did not. I was talking, and I was saying, and Brent, he came to me and he said that, he was leaving Howard, and I was like, I don't know whether he's really leaving or else he got fired. I said that. I put it as a conjecture, because who leaves Howard Stern?
That's what I'm saying.
Howard Stern to start up your own Twitch channel. Who does that? Nobody.
That's the equivalent of me saying, "Oh, I'm going to quit my job so I can be a YouTuber."
Yeah, when I got the greatest job in the world.
Yeah.
Working for the king of all media. But hey, I didn't say he got fired. He was like, naturally he texted me, "You quit slandering me." It's like, well, from somebody, you ain't getting, you're a fucking public figure. You ain't getting slandered. I posed a question and said maybe you got fired, and that's all I said. So I ain't got nothing to do with people who aren't loyal.
How big of a role did Brent play inside the BTLS glory days, on the serious days, in regards to programming, in regards to ideas? Because from an outsider looking in, I was sort of under the impression that, like, Brent's the man, he's the one that kept that show together. But at the same time, I wasn't there or part of that, so I'm pretty sure my assumptions might not be 100% true.
I mean, Brent was, he was a master at, weaving his way into, like he, wormed his way into the Bubba Lussman show, and that's why Bubba fired Cowhead, because, like, I'd rather replace him with Brent. He's really good at that. He was good on the air. I never had a problem with Brent on the air. A lot of people didn't like him, but that makes for good radio when, you have a divisive character on the air. And I thought he was good in that way. And he was Bubba's right-hand man as far as whatever Bubba needed, Brent would do. He didn't really have that much to do with as far as producing. He was just more of Bubba's right-hand man. Like if you ever, like there was a good guest, like a band that came through, that was Spice who would do that kind of shit.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Glad to know that. What is your goal through this whole situation? Like, what do you, if you had to eventually, make a wish to make everything come true, what does your empire look like?
I mean, I would love to have, like, we stream 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 hours a day. I would love to, make enough money where I could bring a couple of really good people in and do more streaming and have a channel that was some really quality programming, uncensored, balls to the wall, under the parameters of, today's snowflake society, obviously. And I've lost, I've been famous. I was fucking famous. I mean, I was, performing for 5,000 people, and I really loved it, and I cherish those times, and they were unbelievable times. But I'm pretty happy as long as I can pay my bills and, sit on the porch with a cold beer. I want to pay my bills, but I love what I'm doing now. I'm beholden to nobody, and I'm putting really good stuff out there. And I just I would love for this stream to be incredibly popular one day, because it deserves it. We do a great show. It's not Bubba the Love Sponge. It's more of a niche to people who are free thinkers, and and it's very difficult to appeal to those people, because it's a small the group of people who are intelligent and free thinking and get it is not nearly as large as the main pool of people. But if I could become a niche to a group of people, and they love me and I love working for them, that would be fine for me.